Yeah.
And so if you see somebody, like, of course this is a fictional universe, but if you see somebody getting beat up, like let's say there were people who saw Jade, maybe in the production truckers, or they evidently had a camera there just afterwards. So the likelihood that nobody saw it, I just don't believe. But
Right.
yeah, you record this and you don't tell anybody who did it. I mean, is that person also threatening like your wife and kids or something, or what's the deal here?
It
But
would be funny. What if somebody sell it to TMZ and you see it on TMZ, like Jade Cargill was attacked by Naomi. It's like, that would be even funny. Like, what if the WWE had their own version of TMZ or something, something like that? It would just be funny.
that's what Waller in theory could do. That's what I'm saying. Is
Exactly. Yep.
be the people behind, like everybody's trying to figure out this who done it thing. It's like we know who did it,
God damn.
and then
Right.
they go around and antagonizing the women and be like, and just pretty much just like we know what you were doing, but we have the scoop on you. And then like they're getting close to Bianca and they're kind of like seeing Bianca did it, and they just turn to Naomi, and then Naomi kind of like flinches and like play the footage. They play the footage and then it shows, and then Bianca's like, what do you why?
Exactly.
And then that sets up the program or something like that. But talk shows and promo segments, they can be very effective tools if used properly, and this is a case of them using a wrench to hit a nail. They did not need to have Braun Strowman as a guest. I would have much rather had, imagine if they had used Grayson Waller and Austin Theory to do a backstage Waller effect where they had Austin Theory was literally the cameraman taking the camera, and they saw out Kevin Owens to hear what he hear from him after he attacked Cody Rhodes. If they could have combined those segments, and they could actually make a compelling angle for Grayson Waller for him being able to get exclusive information from people that nobody else could get. From this promo segment, I didn't learn anything insightful about Braun Strowman or anybody involved in that. It was just pretty much they were there to lay the landscape, to have him in the ring, so then Carmelo could come out there and talk the trash and start the match. But if Grayson Waller's gimmick was that he was able to, like, of course he might get attacked by some of the folks at times, but if he was to be able to get exclusive information, like Kevin Owens, who had been dodging interviews, who wouldn't talk to anybody, like Michael Cole talked to him in a car, or maybe Drew McIntyre, where Drew McIntyre does podcast appearances and things like that, walks off, and I mean those are great. But if there's just certain individuals that are really hard to talk to, or there's questions that people won't answer, and Grayson has a way of like that could be a very compelling role for him, because he asks the tough questions, he can get the information nobody else could get, and then you could do that with storylines because he just knows stuff that nobody else knows. Like you could have a segment to where Solo Sikoa will call him into the Bloodline locker room and get some inside information about like where somebody's going to be so they can ambush him and jump him, and it's just like he's the information guy. But no, they'll have him in the ring and have this nice fancy setup that I would love to have for like a podcast studio. That was a nice desk he had. But and that gets thrown out the ring and whatever the case is. But like I said, they use a wrench to hit a nail. Very effective vehicle itself with the promo and the microphone, the talking segments, but just being used in the incorrect fashion because this did nothing for anyone.